It's lovely to be here. There's a group of us that get together on every couple of weeks, eat lunch and appreciate. And there's a friend that we have that we all love very much. And she has been unemployed for a couple years and shows up every week and orders whatever she chooses. And the rest of us pay for it. And it's to the point where it's become irritating. I don't care about whether I put $20 in the kitty for her, or at least I say I don't. Obviously I do. But I guess it's because there's no thank you, there's no may I, there's no acknowledgement whatsoever about what's going on. And I'm just at a place where I've run it through my mind so many times. I appreciate what I've heard today of just letting it is what it is. She is who she is. And I got to have something in my head that's going to help me with this because it's driving me nutty.
Let's walk through it and see if we can sort it out together. So, are you saying to us that you are not really appreciating the way she's worked the abundance out in her life?
I have many times said to her what an amazing creator she is. You know?
The story that we've been telling for a number of years, haven't told it lately, but this really begs for it, is imagine going to a department store with a little girl who is just excited about life. And she is feeling appreciation for everything she sees. In today's terminology, we would say she's in the vortex. So, from her vortex perspective, she's appreciating and reveling and loving and adoring. And you are in the vortex also. And can't you just feel yourself inspired to do anything and everything that you can think of to make this appreciative little girl feel even more delicious about her life experience? But now imagine a little girl who's with you who is just ornery and demanding and not appreciative. And wouldn't you find yourself not only not wanting to offer something, but wanting to sort of get out of there? An entirely different thing is being evoked from you.
Right.
So, in our analogy, the little girl has this vibration going on to which you are responding. And if it is a vibration of alignment, then it aligns with your vibration of alignment, and there's no sacrifice, because the only thing that you can ever sacrifice is your alignment. If you believe in the limited pie, which you don't, but in this setting it feels a little bit like it. Right. If you believe in the limitation of the pie that has been manifested, then you can feel uncomfortable about the way it's being divvied out. But when you understand that there is this unlimited, infinite pie, then there's no competition. Then there's no worry about anything. Then there's just this graceful unfolding amongst those who are playing together. You began your segment here by talking about this woman who you all love. And we are certain that in the vortex nature of the relationship as it began was really in place, so that you were inspired from inside the vortex to share your unlimitedness with someone. But over time, she is not evoking from inside the vortex. And you are not responding from inside the vortex either.
Really?
Now, you can't do anything about whether she's in the vortex or not, but you can do everything about whether you are or not. And what we've noticed is that from inside the vortex, You aren't necessarily inspired to fork over anything that anybody is needingly asking for. In other words, from inside the vortex, it's always inspired, and you can always feel when the inspiration is there. So what you have to decide is that vortex first and then manifestation later. If you decide that you will let your action follow your inspiration from inside the vortex, and that you're not going to offer action unless you are inside the vortex, it would be a good discussion to have with anyone. In other words, you can talk about it among your friends about how life is working out for you, and you've decided that in your old age you can kid about it. In my old age, I've decided that I'm going to do those things that I feel really inspired to do. And when the inspiration comes, I've been following through with the inspiration, but I have been making a point not to do things because I think I should, only doing things because I think I want to, and I'm feeling so good these days. And then don't do it unless you feel like you want to. And what you will begin to discover is if she is really outside the vortex and you are in the vortex, she will drift away from your experience. If you are both outside the vortex, you will stick together like glue, and she will extract unwilling money from you for a long period of time, and you will feel resentment about it. If you're both in the vortex, then there will be a give and take that is really a comfortable one, you say.
Right.
So it's vortex first, manifestation next. In our analogy, we were talking about this little girl who was offering appreciation, but she was offering appreciation before you were inspired. In this case, you are offering the behavior hoping to induce appreciation. It's backwards, right. You see. You have to find alignment first from which you will be inspired to the perfect action that is most appropriate for her. Because this is always a truth. When you stand in a place where you say, I do this for you, for I see you cannot do it for yourself, there is a disempowerment factor that does not evoke appreciation. Instead, it evokes resentment. It evokes a feeling of not enoughness. It's what's wrong with the welfare system in your nation today. Well-meaning people wanting to help other well-meaning people for a while, but then generations of them no longer appreciating because it isn't something temporary. It becomes something generationally permanent, which disempowers not just families, but generations of families, and makes them feel more out of the vortex, more uncomfortable, more resentful, and therefore more demanding. And then the whole thing just sort of breaks down. You are an uplifter of helping her to know who she really is. You want to empower her. And in your observation of what's been going on, you have come to the conclusion that you must not be empowering her because the condition seems to be permanent. And so now you've come to this new desire. This new desire is springing out of this. I still love this person and I still want to help this person, but I want to help in a way that is really help. The help that you're wanting to offer is to hold her as your object of attention in her current behavior without feeling uncomfortable about it. In other words, making peace with what is. Let's go general on it and see if we can make peace with it. All I ever wanted to do was uplift and help, and it kills me that I haven't been uplifting and helping. It's all sort of been a futility, and now I'm beginning to feel taken advantage of. So now that's about as specific as we need to be because it feels about as bad as it can feel.
Right.
So now we're going to go general. Generally negative. We're not going to be foolish enough to try to jump all the way over to the high in the sky stuff. We're going to go generally negative. Well, it may not be intentional. I'm not the only one who's sort of been caught up in it. I have plenty of resources, so it's never been any skin off my nose. But it's not really about that. It's not about economics. It's more about my desire to uplift and my awareness that I haven't been uplifting. I really don't have to figure this out right now. I don't have to make a decision about what I'm going to do forever. I could offer sometimes and not offer sometimes. And it might even be fun to witness the awkward moment when I decide that I'm not going to put money in the pot. In fact, it could be sort of a joyful journey when I decide to take care of my own experience and let everybody else do the same. I sort of like the idea of seeing how this plays out. This could be sort of fun. I always like it when revelations occur to other people. And I'm looking forward to the moment when this woman, who I really do care about, receives the revelation that the party's over. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to withhold my awareness of her, and I'm not going to withhold my appreciation of her, and I'm not going to withhold my ability to uplift her, but I am going to withhold my enabling of her weakness. I'm going to see her as stronger than that. I'm going to practice expecting her to get hold of her own experience. It's going to be so much fun the day I witness her offering to buy lunch for all of us, or even her putting in her own. How exhilarating it's going to feel when the check comes around and we've all had a very good time and she reaches into her pocket and puts something on the table for herself. That is just going to feel so good. Not because any of us have missed the money, but because she has found a piece of her empowerment. I just love giving someone a hand up, but I never want to be responsible for them becoming weak. I so am an uplifter, and I so appreciate any opportunity I have to discover what true empowerment and true upliftment is. And I believe with everything that I am, that attention to someone's weakness only adds to their weakness, while attention to someone's strength adds to their strength. And I've been needing her to show me some strength so that I could have a knee-jerk response to her strength. And then I'm annoyed that all she's showing me is weakness, so I'm having a knee-jerk response to her weakness. And all along, what I'm discovering is it's my knee-jerk response to my own strength or weakness. My knee-jerk response to my own ability to see it the way I want to see it.
Right.
Now you're almost at the point where you could begin rampaging. Life is really a kick in the pants. We're all interacting with each other in so many funny ways. It's really fun to get a handle on all of this. And most of all, this is insight into what's going on with me more than it is insight into what's going on with her. Now I'm understanding that I can perceive life with my inner being fully integrated within me, or I can perceive a moment in time without. I've been having some manifested moments without my inner being, without my inner being fully functioning within me, because I've been letting this be my excuse to withhold from myself my true resources. What it really is about is you finding a way to make peace enough with anything that is, that you are not using it as your excuse to deprive yourself of your full connection.
Right.
So what she's giving you is an opportunity to fully manifest the fullness of who you are without her changing anything. And that is unconditional love. She is giving you the gift of the discovery of unconditional love. And that's worth about 1 million breakfasts, we'd say.
I knew that was in there someplace. I knew this was about me, not about her.
Yeah.
I understood that from the get-go.
It always is.
Right.
It always is.
Right.
When I discover that she doesn't have to change in order for me to find a better feeling emotion, I found freedom.
Right.
And I found it in a really comfortable, easy way.
Well said. Thank you very much. And by the way, we all love you.
There is great love here for all of you.
A friend of mine asks a line I don't know the answer to. Why are there things instead of just nothing?
Because the things are focused into being. In nothing, there would be lack of focus. In things, there is focus. So, when it was nothing, it was not as focused as when it was something. And even in the what many are calling nothingness, there was a vibration, somethingness, that is the emotion that we're wanting you to make the something that is enough. Do you get that? We want the emotion to be the something that is enough. Religions have been talking about it for a very long time. That's what faith is. Faith is belief in something not yet manifested enough I can see it, but manifested enough I can feel it. Faith is the emotion of the vortex. And if you hang around there long enough, it must reveal itself to you in the fullest of manifestational something.
so much.